A warning from Charles Spurgeon.
A time is coming, indeed it is already upon us, when instead of shepherds feeding the sheep, the church will have clowns entertaining the goats. The house of God will become a theater, where men seek amusement rather than truth, and where the gospel is exchanged for shallow pleasantries.
Have we forgotten that the Church of Christ was never meant to be a place for amusement? It is a house of prayer, a place of solemn worship, and the very pillar and ground of the truth. Woe to that church which seeks to please the world rather than convict it.
The danger of compromise.
There was a day when the pulpit was a throne for the word of God. But I fear the day is near when the pulpit shall give way to the stage, and the preacher shall be no more than a mere performer. We are told, "Let the people have what they want." But Christ did not commission his ministers to please the people. He called us to proclaim his truth, whether men will hear or whether they will forbear. Oh, the tragedy! A time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but they shall heap up for themselves teachers who will tickle their itching ears. They shall turn away from the truth and be turned aside to fables.
The church must not be a marketplace.
There is another evil I must warn you of. The church is becoming a place of trade where the gospel is marketed as a cheap commodity. Is Christ's precious blood to be used as a means for financial gain? Shall the people of God be entertained rather than exhorted? What sorrow awaits the shepherds who feed themselves and not the flock? I tell you plainly, Christ did not die to make men rich in worldly goods but to save them from sin and death. Beware, O church, lest in your attempt to make the gospel palatable to the world, you make it of no effect at all.
The need for true preaching.
Oh, my brethren, the need of the hour is not more entertainment, not more comforts, but more Christ. Give the people strong meat, not milk alone. Preach the word with boldness. Let the truth pierce the hearts of men as a double-edged sword. For what use is a preacher who refuses to speak the whole counsel of God? I would rather have my tongue cut out than to stand in the pulpit and fail to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. Preach Christ, my brethren, and him crucified. Not shallow stories, not empty philosophies, but the glorious life-giving truth of the Son of God.
The church must be holy.
Oh, church, do you not know? The world is watching. You are called to be the salt of the earth. But if the salt loses its savor, with what shall it be seasoned? The church that is a friend of the world is an enemy of God. A church that conforms to the world's ways has already ceased to be a church at all. Do not think that holiness is an option. It is the mark of Christ's true people. Would you have the blessing of God? Then purify yourselves. Remove from your midst the love of sin and turn again to the Lord with all your heart.
Final warning.
I have spoken these things, not from my own wisdom, but from the very word of God. The church must awaken from her slumber. The time is short. Judgment begins at the house of God. Let us not exchange the glory of the gospel for the cheap trinkets of this world. Let us not be as those who have a form of godliness, but deny its power. Return, O church, to the pure and undiluted truth of Christ. And may God grant that we stand faithful, even as the world drifts into darkness. Be watchful and strengthen the things that remain, that are ready to die. Revelation 3:2.
The warnings of Spurgeon still speak today. The question is, will we listen? If you made it to the end, thank you, and God bless you. This is The Foundation, where we talk about the one and only foundation, which is Christ and him alone. If this video has blessed you in any way, please make sure others see this video by liking and subscribing. It makes the video more visible. Our next video will be on Tozer and his message to the church. Stay tuned and turn on your notification. Christ is King.